So now, really, how does brand lift work? I don't want to get technical, but I do think it's vital to get the basics of the method. That way, you know how the results are actually obtained and what they reflect in the real world. So, to start off, and this may seem obvious, but in order to measure how listeners respond to a campaign, they first have to hear it. So, let's say we have a listener who heard an ad for Choco Plus who is participating in our study. After hearing it, we asked them to take an online survey. And the survey has questions about the ad campaign that align to these upper funnel measures we just looked at, right? And we usually start with questions sort of about awareness. So we say, which of the following healthy chocolate brands are you aware of? But we give them a selection of brands to choose from, including competitors, right? We don't want to tip off that what we're asking about is Choco Plus. And then towards the end, we're going to get into those intent questions, such as how likely are you to purchase a product from each of these healthy chocolate brands? And we'll actually survey hundreds of listeners who heard the campaign. This is important so we get a good representative sample of everyone who heard it. We don't just want what we say N of one. We want to make sure that we're really getting a rounded picture of how effective the campaign was. They conducted a survey, and as part of this survey, there were 400 male listeners who heard a Choco Plus ad. And we learned that 65% of them said they were aware of Choco Plus. Now, Sam, the buyer, thinks this is a really great number. Went to the brand manager who said, well, I don't know. Is it so good? I mean, I'd like to see a number closer to 100. So that's the question for Sam. How do we decide if that 65% is a good number? So what we need is something to compare it to. So what we do is we actually conduct a survey of an equivalent number of male listeners who meet basically the same demographic profile who didn't hear the ad. We give them the same survey and we find out that 35% were aware of Choco Plus. That's less, right? We call that our control cell. You may have heard this in all types of scientific literature, and it's the same thing we do in survey research. The control cell didn't hear the ad. The other cell is the exposed cell. They did hear the ad. And so when we compare them, we see a 30% difference. 30% more male listeners who heard a Choco Plus ad are aware of the brand. And that's what we call our lift. We can say that the Choco Plus ad was responsible for a lift in awareness with male listeners.